Hey everyone, so in this video, we are going to be talking about agreements with adjectives in the French language. So we are going to start by talking about some general characteristics of French adjectives, then we'll get into talking about the placement of those, and then we'll finish off by talking about some example sentences. So some characteristics of adjectives, these are just kind of general things that you should know. So adjectives are used to modify nouns and they must agree in gender and number in French. And so they can be singular or plural. And they can either follow nouns and or be modified by adverbs, just like in English. And so in French, they can either be masculine singular, which is just the default. They can be feminine singular, which is la, and then they can be either masculine plural or feminine plural. And in both of those, it's just lay. So now we can start with talking about the placement of them. So in English, adjectives almost always come in front of a noun. I can't really think of when that would be the case. But in French, most adjectives actually follow nouns. And I have some examples listed below here with the English on the right side. So we have la robe verte. So you can see that la robe, the dress, which is the subject or the noun, comes before the adjective. And in English, it's switched. So you have the green dress. And then another example is les filles intelligentes, the smart girls, and then le pantalon noir, which is the black pants. And in general, this is what you're going to follow, but just like every other rule in French, there are exceptions with this one. And that exception would be BAGS, which is an acronym. It stands for beauty, age, good and bad, and size. So they're pretty self-explanatory. And some examples of beauty would be beau, belle, jolie. And then age, you have like old, young, that kind of thing. Good and bad, bon, mauvais. And then size, big, little, tall, short, that kind of thing. So examples of that would be une belle fille, un jeune garçon, une bonne livre, and un petit morceau de gâteau. So with these, you can see that the adjectives are actually written before the noun. And so personally, I think the best way to memorize this would just be, or memorize these two rules in general, would just be to memorize bags. And you know that whenever you have an adjective that falls into one of these four categories, you're going to know that they are going to be written before the noun. And if it doesn't fit into this category, you're going to write it after, just like we talked about in the previous slide. So now we can finish off with some example sentences. So in English, I have the sentence, I need to buy an extravagant dress for the party tomorrow. And in French, that would be j'ai besoin d'acheter une robe extravagante pour la fête. So you can see that it is feminine singular, which is why you have the E at the end of extravagant, and you have it coming afterwards. And the second example is I'm going on a date with a tall and handsome boy I met last night. Je vais à un rendez-vous avec le grand et beau garçon que j'ai rencontré hier soir. So notice how there are two adjectives in here. You have tall and handsome, grand et beau, and they both come before. So it doesn't matter if grand or beau come before, as long as they both come before the noun, which is garçon. And the last example I would say is the most challenging. So there is a big white dog who lives in my apartment. Il y a un gros chien blanc qui vit dans mon appartement. So you have gros, which is big, and that fits into the bags category, the B in it, or S, I'm sorry. So that comes before chien, which is the subject or the noun of the sentence, and then blanc comes afterwards because it does not fall into that category. So looks like that's it. It's pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy once you get the hang of it.